Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. So I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. The podcast, the flock rundown. Ravens, baby. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed. I appreciate you, Ray. What's up, Ravens fans? I'm Ryan. Welcome to another episode of the Flock Rundown. So DeAndre Hopkins was on I Am Athlete today, and obviously they asked him about all the rumors swirling around, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Ravens, and he started talking about Lamar. I know these DeAndre Hopkins rumors have been swirling all offseason, and they've kind of been put to rest in Baltimore with us getting Odell and then also drafting Zay Flowers. I mean, I think we'd all love DeAndre Hopkins, but financially it just doesn't make sense, and it's not really as much of a need anymore. We got to let Zay and Rashad Bateman have a chance. We throw D-Hop in there, and it's like Bateman's role just keeps getting smaller and smaller. So I think the D-Hop to Baltimore this season is dead. But he made some interesting remarks about just teams in general. They asked him about Lamar's request to get D-Hop and Odell, and then he'd come back. You know, we heard about that. But we ended up only getting Odell, and they asked if he would ever want to play with Lamar. He said, "I'd be lying if I didn't say it would be an honor if my career allows me to play with a great guy and great quarterback like Lamar." He goes on to say that he's one of the greats like Tom Brady. Obviously, Tom Brady's got 7 Super Bowls. We're not going to put him there yet, but it's just absolute respect for Lamar and the fact that these guys do want to play with Lamar. I think D-Hop would love to come to Baltimore. I think actually it would be one of his main choices outside of maybe Buffalo and Kansas City. I just think that the Ravens went a different direction. I think that when we had the chance to get Zay Flowers, we didn't want to make another financial commitment to DeAndre Hopkins as well, an aging wide receiver who you're going to have to pay $20+ million to. So I think that was Baltimore's decision, but I think D-Hop, just the way he talked, would love to come to Baltimore. And he said, if my career allows me to play long enough, I'd love to play with Lamar. So that tells me that it's not happening anytime soon. But, 2-3 years from now, DeAndre's a aging veteran and, maybe only got a year or two left and we bring him in on a cheap deal just to play with Lamar. I'm for it. DeAndre Hopkins is a baller, man. So that's kind of what I took from it. But he made some other interesting comments when they asked him what he's looking for in a team. He said stable management, a quarterback who loves the game. He stressed that Kyler Murray does love the game, but he's hurt right now. And he says, Colt McCoy's my current quarterback. I don't have a Pro Bowl quarterback. And then he said, great defense because defense wins championships. I mean, Baltimore's got all that. So I'm telling you, Baltimore might be his number one option. I just can't see it happening anymore. But I thought it was super interesting that he does still seem like he wants to go elsewhere. Just watching it, just feeling it out. He's kind of, I think if Kyler was 100% healthy, I think he'd be more willing to give it a go again. But the fact that Kyler's going to miss a chunk of games and then probably take some time to get back to himself, he's probably not going to be running as much, which then limits his game anyway because that's part of his game, like Lamar. You take the legs away, you take the same quickness and speed away, which is probably going to happen a little bit this year, just recovering from that injury. He's just not going to be that guy. And to be honest, I don't know if he's that guy anyway. Just from a mentality and commitment standpoint, it just seems like Kyler's never been all in. But that's just me from a distance. I'm not Arizona Cardinals fan. So I'm sure those fans and those content creators can speak on that way more than me. D-Hop did mention the Bills multiple times. He mentioned how great Josh Allen was. So I think if anything goes down, I could see it being Buffalo, maybe Kansas City. But other than that, I think he stays a Cardinal. The Patriots were mentioned a few times, but I don't know if that's going to be his dream spot. I think the Bills, he mentioned the Bills a few times. It seems like the Bills would be where he ends up. And that's another powerhouse in the AFC, man. They're already really good. If they got DeAndre Hopkins, this is another team to deal with. Their division's stacked now with Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets, Buffalo, Miami's good. New England's competitive. I don't think they're a contender, but they're competitive. So the AFC's stacked. But guess what? So are the Ravens. We're stacked too. We're healthy. We got to stay healthy, but we're just as stacked as anybody in the AFC, anybody in the NFL. And the Ravens are going to be a force. If we stay healthy, I don't see us missing the playoffs. And once you're in the dance, you just never know. I think the defense is going to pick up where they left off last year. The offense is going to be a lot more explosive, which is just going to lead to more wins. So I think health is the biggest thing for the Baltimore Ravens. If we can stay healthy, we're going to be in the playoffs. We're going to be a high seed. From then on, who knows? It's one game, you know what I mean? Anything could happen, but I love our chances. I love our roster. Probably not done building on our roster either. I could see another signing or two coming. I just don't think DeAndre Hopkins is coming for the next year or two. He's going to have a way lower salary. Just off of him saying, hopefully I can play long enough to some point play with Lamar. Tells me all I need to know. He's not about to come, but I think that's the Ravens' decision. I don't think that's DeAndre Hopkins. I think he would love to come to Baltimore. Just want to recap his interview. You can go on I Am Athlete podcast if you want to watch the full interview. If you want quick access to just the Ravens part, it's only about a minute long of him talking about playing with Lamar. That's on my Twitter, The Flock Rundown. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of The Flock Rundown, and I'll see you guys next time.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.